Hey y'all, this is George Cook at African American Reports. Yesterday I did a video about a grand jury in Virginia refusing to re-indict New York State Attorney Letitia James. And that's because they have a very bad case, and a lot of people don't realize how bad the government's case is against Letitia James. You have to keep in mind that when in grand jury proceedings, it's a one-sided affair. The prosecution presents their facts and that's it. There's no cross-examining, no back and forth, and they still couldn't get an indictment. Well, here's MS Now investigative reporter Carol Linning explaining the situation a little further and a lot better than I can.
So, after a very long news day that I did not think could get longer, a grand jury in Norfolk had refused to re-indict Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, whom Donald Trump has repeatedly insisted the department prosecute. This is extremely rare. It just doesn't happen that often because the standard for bringing charges against somebody before a grand jury is so low. A majority of grand jurors simply have to find that there's probable cause that a crime occurred. And usually that means that the grand jury simply did not think the facts stacked up to bring these charges, that didn't really see a crime. It usually means that there's a major problem with the case. So the government was in this awkward position of having to re-indict James if they wanted to pursue charges against her because a federal judge dismissed the indictment against James and also former FBI Director James Comey. The judge in the Eastern District of Virginia concluded last week that these indictments weren't valid because the acting U.S. attorney that Donald Trump installed in that office wasn't legally appointed. In other words, wasn't Senate confirmed, hadn't been approved by a court. Therefore, her presentation, her effort to prosecute these people was not legally authorized. You know, Donald Trump has been on a quest for a series of people to be criminally charged, punished. He has described Comey and James and a few other people he doesn't like, Senator Adam Schiff, as quote-unquote guilty as hell. And this is a big setback for his plans to use the Justice Department to punish his political foes.